before I get to Mutahi Ngunyi, there is no day, there is no week where I'll not talk about boomers, and their propensity towards malfeasance and moral malaise. These people, they cannot stay steady on a certain ideological trajectory. They have to, because they are wired in such a way that their default settings is it will revert to their biases, be it ethnic, be it their stomachs, be it anything. For instance, last week I saw this MP called Kaluma, and they were in KTN, hosted by Ken Mijungu, and then he walked out of the interview. Now, it's not, he definitely was entitled to walk out of that interview because Gigi Kagombe has become such an idiot. I can't listen to him. I thought he was a cool guy when we were doing something about education, but I can't stand that guy these days. He's just talking crap. He's like his ass is the one which has replaced his mouth. So I saw Kaluma walking, and as he was walking out, he kept on saying, "I can't debate you stupid people of Mount Kenya." He did not. You know, can I say ODM MPs will never fail to seize an opportunity to display their ethnic biases, because this guy was just going there. You Mount Kenya people, now can you imagine the stoicism? Can you imagine how he would have transcended and towered above all that shenanigans, all that ethnic profiling, had he said that, Gigi Kagombe, you are an idiot, not profiling the entire region. And this is why Raila Odinga presidency has been elusive from the Mount Kenya region and the votes, because every time his sycophants, they are always there just spewing something. They'll just say something out of context. And so I'm looking at Kaluma. You had a golden opportunity to transcend, but you chose, it was easier. You chose the wide road to destruction instead of, towering and saying that this is this person who is talking like this. You would have taken cognizance of the fact that in Mount Kenya, why was Ruto in Mount Kenya launching rice and maize? Why was he doing that? Because he's feeling like he's losing ground. Why were they going to repaint the same projects which were launched 6-7 years ago by Uhuru? Because they are losing ground. Now, you've ignored that entire fact. You've ignored it, and now you want to limit to the same biases that you're used to, because hardliners are in every camp. So, well, these are the camp, they don't want anything as regards to unity. These are the camp also don't want, because I think their relevance is derived from the constant back and forth, because it is simple. Raila has gained so much within the last couple of years, but you guys want to ignore that. You want to still profile that Gigi Kagombe is talking on behalf of the community. I saw his speeches in places like Thika. Did you hear the crowd responding back? And let me tell you what happened when Ruto was coming to Mount Kenya. Buses were collecting people from Githurai. To get in there, you are being given 1,000. You're given a G, and then you're given lunch. If there are guys who are drinking alcohol, they are given. And those buses were going, they went to Karimeno Dam where he was launching, and then they went to Thika again. And so that was the thing. So the crew that you are seeing, those were buses which were transported, not the locals. And those guys are capitalists. You give them money, they'll go and shout and heckle at you. But you don't want to even investigate that. You want to profile an entire community. So Kaluma, you lost a lot of points. You lost a lot of credibility, man. I don't understand why you guys are these boomers. Boomers, you're toxic. I don't understand when you will win yourself. I think we need a generational transition, because the boomers, you're failing us completely. So I also saw another, I saw on Andrew Kibe's Twitter and Amerix's Twitter, they've received an identical message from Caroline Kimeu, a correspondent of The Guardian in East Africa. Says, I'm reaching out because I'm working on a story in which gender disinformation groups have claimed that your social media platforms in the Manosphere network, which they allege promotes misogyny and sexism online. You see, what Muzungus do, Muzungus are very strategic people. They are the ones who have championed freedom of speech. But then, of course, everything has its own limitations. So they know that now these guys are gaining a lot of clout, and what could be the consequence of these guys are telling people, stop simping, stop spending money on chicks, stop going on dates, build yourself, work on yourself, stop, if you eat well, you won't need You won't need a lot of medicine. You won't need to be going to the hospital all the time if you cut out sugar and certain carbs from your diet. You understand? Those are the messages that we are seeing from the manosphere network. But we are interrupting, or they are interrupting with the cash flow from the corporations. I told you the conglomerates run this show. I told you there are very few companies which control the world. BlackRock, State Street, JP Morgan Chase, those are the people who control the world. So you saw this year EABL, they are talking about their profits have gone down by 3 billion. Everyone is concerned because they need you to be going on dates to buy champagne, to buy whiskey, to buy what for chicks who are just going to waste your time. So it's concerning that now, why are these people not going on dates? Why are they not spending? Why is consumerism on at an all-time low? So they will concoct this narrative. They will look for phantom and fictitious rights groups. They will say fictitious concerns which I've not heard or seen, and then now because the strategy, when people now they are laying the ground because they want to deplatform them. Yeah, so they have to lay the ground. They have to dehumanize them. Now, if you read something, it's called the psychology of cruelty. So during the Holocaust, Nazis refers to Jews as rats. Hutus were referred to were called the Tutsis cockroaches. Slave owners, they called their slaves monkeys and such names. They have to label, they have to first dehumanize you to rationalize and to justify their destruction of you. So the other people who might have a problem with, these guys are cracking down on free speech. Perhaps we need to boycott these platforms. But because the message will have been spread, so they had to use a local, they had to use Caroline Kemeu, because if it was a Muzungu doing so, we would have malized them. But now they have to use a local, Caroline Kemeu, who has been trained in Harvard, has acquired mannerisms and identities of the white people. And so this is what they are setting, they are laying the ground and they are setting them up for. So let's see how this unfolds. We are looking forward to read that article. It's a red flag that Caroline Kemeu's tweets are protected. Isn't journalism supposed to be public? Yeah. And finally, we come to Mutahi Ngunyi. Mutahi Ngunyi has jumped camp. Now he's in the Ruto camp. And then he's come with, I don't know, an exclusive bit. Oh, we are the ones who funded Wajakoya's manifesto. Who didn't know that? Even Ruto himself said it at the time. That now they are launching something parallel to mine. Everyone knew that Wajakoya was funded by the state. Everyone had an idea. He just got money out of the blues, started wearing 2 watches. It was creepy. People are not stupid. They knew. And then midway, Wajakoya changed his message from marijuana, because he had gotten the young people, and if he had stayed consistent on that trajectory, which is why I'm telling you, boomers have a problem. If he had been consistent on that trajectory, he would have motivated so many people to get out and vote. Perhaps he would have gotten his 1 million or something, but he was disrupted by other people. And now Mutahi Ngunyi is saying, oh, we gave him. There is nothing new that Mutahi Ngunyi is saying. I don't understand why the same media house that gave him they gave him an article every Sunday, and now they are giving him wall-to-wall coverage. Why to give us stale news? You see, the thing with boomers is boomers gravitate towards each other. So now William Ruto has disbanded and dismantled his PR mechanisms of young people who are using TikTok to promote him, and because there's familiarity dealing with an accomplished warmonger like Mutahi Ngunyi. Mutahi Ngunyi, I remember his interviews on Jeff Koinange, where by then the bench was on K24, and he used to take credit. I'm the one who foresaw this post-election violence, because he was using his article in The Nation to sow the seeds of ethnic animosity. You understand? And I don't understand why Nation then would repeat the same mistake of platforming this and giving airtime to such a toxic bastard. These boomers, you understand? So now they've sacrificed the boomers, the young people who are in Ruto's PR team, and now they've gotten a boomer because his needs are very, they are very understandable. He just needs money to underwrite, pay school fees for one of his children or something, they can deal with that person. And like young people, it would hurt them to feel that they are empowering young people. So now they have to revert to a boomer. That's why Mutahi Ngunyi is marketable to the Kenya Kusha shit show. It is unfortunate to see old people, ideological prostitutes. We hate you people, man.